Are we live? Are we live? 1 2 1 2. Yes, sir. Just checking to make sure that I'm live. Is this thing on? It's been a while, so let me see over here. Make sure that it shows that I am actually, in fact, going live at the moment. So let's check this out. Um, how's everyone doing? Hopefully, everyone is doing very well and has been making a killing in the stock market. At this point, I'm just trying to see what we got going and if we are, in fact, doing well. So, all right, Kent's mom is on. So, hi, Kent's mom. I'm just trying to make sure that you guys can, in fact, hear me. And I think you guys can. So, that's kind of cool. Um, Moderation is on. Hello, 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 hello. I'm using a new camera, so bear with me here. I'm gonna try. I want to send the people on the Discord a little link to see if they are in fact on at this moment. So bear with me here, please. Um, yeah. Let's see here. Uh-huh. Think we are on. All right, here we go. Check 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Good afternoon, my fellow simpletons. Um, like my brother from another mother would say, the good old Danny Dollars. Hello and welcome and hello there. Um, quite a week, quite a month. Dare I say, quite a few months. Market is ripping, definitely, and it seems we are having a lot of fun in the stock market lately. And so I just want to make sure that, people are taking advantage of this frothiness we have. Hopefully, people are protecting themselves. Nothing goes up forever, right? And I wanted to come in and um, say hi. It's been a minute. Um, what have I been up to? Well, been working a lot. The wife did decide to take, the next year or two off. And that was a decision we basically took together. And we felt confident because of the way that I've been investing in the last year, 2 years. We wanted to kind of try this out and see, we had enough savings where we felt comfortable with her taking a more of a traditional role, if that's a thing. I don't want to sound like a chauvinist pig, right? But she's, I was a stay-at-home dad for a few years. Let's just get that out of the way. And she was the main breadwinner. We did great. That was during the pandemic. I homeschooled my kids, and it was great. So then I decided, you know what, let me step up and take more hours at work, say no to no job, and I mean don't say no to any job, and then work up to 100 hours a week sometimes. And so my wife is at home taking care of the kids, and so I haven't been able to go live as much as I'd like to. Um, However, the stock market has not waited for that for me and for anybody at all. The stock market doesn't care. The stock market does what the stock market does. And so it's been great. I hope you guys are taking advantage of this rip. It seems like the brakes are off in a lot of ways, and if the interest rates get cut, I think we're going to fly even more. However, if you look at the way that things have been trading the last few years, right? I think in 2023, we had a major hiccup, I think around the August um, the August month, maybe a little bit of September, but I think it was August. And if you look at the chart, I'm not right now. I'm trying to get on OBS and kind of learn how to share my screen and go from my video camera to what I'm watching and what I'm researching and the websites that I'm seeing. And so I want to show you guys some graphs, right? But right now I'm still learning, and I also have it's my personal computer that I'm using at this point, and I have a lot of sensitive data, and I don't want to show some stuff. So like just full interest of full disclosure, right? But if you guys do want to do a little more searching, you can look at the graphs, how the market is trading in the last month, and look at August 2023, I believe, and see the similarities. And we took a big dip during that time. And I think 2020 was kind of the same. I think 2008 or 7, but it was so many similarities that I've seen, right? So I decided that I 70% to 80% of my cash secure puts I bought back today. I'm going to keep buying them back tomorrow. I'm definitely at Webull. I bought back some Unities that I had for 2026 expiring. I think it was some 28s and some 30s that I sold maybe a couple of years ago. Closing those now. Some GMEs that I had from I think November, I want to say, or December. I had some 25s and some 23s and some Octobers, and I think I closed the Octobers. Definitely closed the August. So at this point, I think I have a few 26s. I my open door, cash secure puts that I had $1. I had $1 cash secure puts. I have a shitload of them. I ended up rolling over. So I was able to take some nice, chunk of change. At this point, because of all the rollovers I've been doing on Open Door, I think my cost basis will be somewhere around 19 or something like that. So I sold the first cash secure puts I think for 41 cents, and it was out like 4 or 5 months or 6 months. And I wanted the shares, but it was so beaten down. I think it got to like 50 cents, and I had $1 shares. I was actually underwater, and I ended up rolling the first time for a profit, right? I think it was like 2 or 3 cents, and then I ended up rolling again for like $400 or $500, and then the last time I rolled over was for a couple of $1,000. That was actually 2 days ago or yesterday. Anyway, so I just at this point is just I don't know what to say. I guess I've gotten lucky, but I knew that Open Door is a real estate play, and I knew that it's the market has been heavily beaten down. The real estate market has, and so I figured, you know what, I'm going to wait. 10 years ago, I would have taken, I would have bitten the bullet and taken the loss, but I honestly don't feel like taking a loss right now. I feel that there's so much money on the table that I've left in the past by just being impatient. And I think to the crew that's watching me, that's the Uncle Bruce crew, right? Patience was the one thing that the old man taught me, and so the one-on-ones and stuff like that I've had, I knew a lot about the stock market, but you don't know what you don't know, right? And so I ended up just buckling down and coming into grips with the fact that I just was very impatient. So that's like the number one thing that I can take from our one-on-ones, and then just him giving me a different perspective on how to look at things, right? And so just by being patient, man, I've been able to just get out of like all these underwater positions and come out ahead. I waited, and now Unity is ripped. Palantir, oh my God, Palantir ripped. If you followed me in the past, you know that I have my Savage stocks, right? And I'm happy to say, even Lucid is a play that I've been on for a couple of years now, and I've averaged down, man. And it's been beaten down severely, right? And it's something about uh, stocks that have low float and are easily manipulated and heavily shorted that I just find very attractive because I think GME may have um, may have caused PTSD on a lot of shorters, but they still don't learn their lesson. They get greedy, right? And eventually they take their foot off the pedal, and then it's like a whack-a-mole game at this point. And so, a stock that they were shorting at some point, they take their eye off of it because something else is coming out now where it's starting to run away, and then they'll figure that, they'll start plugging those holes, and then this one appears out of nowhere. And it's just like, here's the gift that keeps on giving. And I love selling covered calls, the IV is over 100 because I take a massive chunk. You know, I honestly don't sell, I hope, forever. And when I do sell, it's because I got, my shares got called away. And I also write covered calls, at strikes that I'm completely comfortable letting my stock go. So at that point, I just go into a cash secure put mode and rinse and repeat, So good afternoon. I am the Savage of Wall Street, and I'm just over here rambling. Hopefully, you guys want to listen to some of our rambling. Let's see what we got here. We got Ken's mom. Ken's mom, how are you? Jude K, howdy. How you doing, Jude? Mark C, grabbed 1K at open at 140. Road cover calls into the end of August. Good for you. Take the money. Take the money. I mean, open is just, man. It's not even. We're not even in the first inning right now. Honestly, we're like in the first two outs. I'm telling you, the way that this has been beaten down is it's insane to me because it's heavily shorted, man. It's heavily shorted. I think that there's some stocks that I own that are severely shorted, and I just, GME taught me a lesson, and it's not it's not whether the company is a good company, it's whether people got greedy. Yes, if a company is good, obviously the company is going to do well, and the company, will make money, right? However, GME is also showing us, that a company doesn't have to be, firing on 100 cylinders or 1,000 cylinders every day, and they don't even have to have a product that's like wanted by everyone. It could be a niche, like a niche product, and it's just at this point there's just too many people. Retail is holding just hundreds of millions of shares at this point, and they're not selling. So that's just that's making the shorters kick the can down the road. Eventually, every so often, you guys see it. If you are holding GME, that it pops to 30, just like that, within a week. It goes from 20, $17 to like 35, and then it comes back down, but it'll just keep going. The lowers keep getting higher, right? And so the lows keep getting higher. That's all I have to say about that. At this point, I have a lot of cash secure puts in the 20s, 22, 23 land. I bought back a lot. I actually have some 30s that I sold, I think, expiring in January for GME. And I thought I took in like I want to say $1,050 or something like that, like $1,050, $10 for those cash secure puts, which is awesome because anytime it runs away, anytime that it runs to like, I don't know, 30, 35, I'm going to buy those for like 40%, 50%, 60% profit. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do there. Every time that I sell a cash secure put, on GME, I use that money to buy more shares. And so that's exactly what the game is, man. My portfolio just keeps growing. Hopefully you guys are taking the same approach, and and I use my covered call money and my cash secure put money to make things tangible. I pay bills. I take trips, and then I pay for those trips with with that money. And so, there's sometimes things are needed around the house. I got to pay medical bills, or the kids need stuff, right? And so I take $500, $1,000 out of the good old account, and I make sure that it's covered call or cash secure put money, and I make my I lower my cost of living, and hopefully you guys are taking an approach kind of like that. Let's see here. So yeah, no, open. I like that move. You bought 1,000. At this point, if you wrote twos or 150s, you bought 140s. I don't know, man. You can sell twos, make $600 plus whatever premium you get for those covered calls. I think that's great. What did I write? I wrote fives. I wrote fives for 60 cents. And that was this morning. I think it was like 40 of those, 20 on my account and 20 on my wife's account. And so at this point, I think those are now, I think the last I checked was 35 cents. So I'm already up ahead. I honestly think it could pop a little more. However, if it doesn't and it starts to scale back, tomorrow, even more, I'm totally okay with crossing my arms. I mean, what's going to happen? They have to buy the $5. The stock is $1.50, $1.60, 75, right? It needs to move like 300% in order for that stock to get taken away. My average is under $1, man. Like, do you think I won't be okay getting those shares called away for $5 a pop? Come on, man. What's the name of the game? The name of the game is to make money. Making money. That's how you do it. Lucid. Those of you that have been following me, man, you guys, know that I like my Lucid, and I think that it's a money maker. At this point, there's just too much Saudi money in it. There's just too much Saudi money, and they're not gonna let it fail, man. It's a good company. They have a car that I think just broke 750 miles per one charge. In one charge, they basically a battery that went 750 miles. The Lucid Gravity, 750 miles on one charge. That's insane. Do you understand that? That means that you can go from San Francisco to LA without charging one time. You know what I mean? You spend the night, you charge while you're spending the night or the weekend, and then you come back on another charge. You don't have to stop anywhere. That's crazy to me. So yeah, man, that's just that's the way that I've gotten a little lucky in the last few, because I was not expecting Uber to write any type of contracts with Lucid. I was thinking actually Nvidia, but you know what? Uber stepped up and they want their cars. They want some gravities and it's gonna happen. They're gonna make some money. Let's see here. What else do we have? Charlie saying ramble on says, yeah, man. I mean, I'm bored, and I had some time, and I'm thinking about now that Uncle Bruce is gonna take the step back. I honestly think that there's gonna be a lot of people that are just gonna be, especially the newbies, right? That have started to get excited about the market and that are gonna look for some more guidance, and some of them don't have $500, $600, to pay Uncle Bruce for an hour, for a one-on-one, because they're just starting. They don't know. They don't know what's going on, and I honestly don't agree with paying, $500, $600 for an hour of someone's time when the newbie doesn't have an idea of what's going on. And if you have a 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 dollar portfolio, it just makes no sense. Even if it was $100,000, I think that it's still a little steep, because you're literally giving away half a percentage point for something that you may not know what you're trying to look for. I think the seasoned writers, the seasoned stock option writers are kind of that have a couple of $100,000 in a portfolio. I think that they would probably get the most out of a one-on-one, because what you can ask, right? You know what you're looking for, and at that point, it's just looking at things from different perspectives, right? You already probably have your niche per se. You know kind of how to trade at this point, and you feel comfortable in a specific manner that you're trading, and then you're looking for like other venues that you can go into, and then somebody with the expertise like Uncle Bruce can give you like another viewpoint. And I think that's kind of where it starts making sense. But there's gonna be like a lot of people that are gonna look for like something, right? And I would hate for these people that are like in every day looking for information, or tuning into the Uncle Bruce channel. I would hate for them to go into like a channel where somebody with no scruples gets their hands on them, right, and starts telling them like all this crap, and telling them that they're gonna make money if they come to some hotel in their city and pay $500 or $1,000, for the chance to meet so and so. Like, I think that's a ridiculous thing, but it happens. And I would hate for that to happen to the Bagel Gang, man. So, I figured, I may go live in the mornings when Uncle Bruce takes a step back, right? And maybe like during trading hours, so that I can trade and let people know, hey, look, I'm working on this trade. Obviously, I'm going to say, in the interest of, full disclosure, I own this specific company, and obviously I'm biased towards it. Do not take my word for it. And then do your own due diligence. But if you're looking to make a couple of dollars and you're looking for a company that's, makes sense from my perspective, right? Look it up. And then at some point, you're going to have to do the work, right? But it kind of helps when somebody that's a little more seasoned um, is talking about a specific trade, and you guys can look at the trade. You don't have to do it. You can just see how it goes, right? And then when I get into trade, I'll tell you. When I get out to trade, I'll tell you, and you'll be able to see, exactly kind of how I'm trading, and then kind of compare it, right, to your style, and be like, is this how I'm trading? Are you too lackadaisical? Are you are you too conservative? Are you not conservative enough? It always helps to have like a benchmark, right? Like something to compare yourself to, and I think that would help people. And not just me. There's going to be probably other people that are going to be on at the same time as I am on, and they're going to be commenting, and then they're going to be talking about their trades, and you can compare your trades to their trades, kind of like what we do with Uncle Bruce. So it's just going to be like a hangout spot. I'm at this point just trying to give us and other like-minded individuals like a space for us to go and exchange ideas, right? I know that a lot of people cannot be in the Discord, and so it's something, and then as time progresses and I see how it goes, and as I see how the members kind of react, and how people are just socializing I have ideas on what to do, and and how to go from there. So this is kind of, I'm not new to YouTube, but like it'll be a new situation. So it the thing is that I have three children, right? And even going on once a week, it's a big commitment, because I don't get paid for it, right? And so it'll be one of those things where like my time is already valuable, as it is, in short, because I'm always working. But I don't know, man. It's just something that I feel like, it'd be something cool to do, and I think people would appreciate it. So that's pretty much it. Let's see what do we got here. So a Lucid on the street for the first time a couple of weeks ago. Turned my head. Nice looking car. Charlie 2C says, "Yeah, man, Lucids, they got nice cars. Wait till you see the Gravity. The Gravity is an SUV, right? I don't know if you've seen the Rivians. Rivians are really nice cars. Rivian is one of those cars companies right now that it's just right there. It's just about, I think, taking the next step. I'm in Rivian right now. I'm in Rivian. I'm definitely into Lucid. Um, Tesla is another one I'm trading. A lot of those are my savage picks. If you look at my videos, you know, you'll see that I've been talking about these companies for a couple of years now, and I've been trading them. So another thing, yeah, if you really want to help my channel kind of prosper and get a little bigger, um, I'm trying to get to like 10,000 members. I think I have a couple of thousand at this point. But when you get to like these plateaus, YouTube actually ends up giving you badges and all that stuff. I think that would be cool. Having a super chat would be great. I'll tell you that right now, because if you knuckleheads, let's say I talk about a trade and you guys make a couple of $1,000, and you want to slip me $20 as a donation, man, you know what? I will take it. I will happily take it, because it'll help me kind of build the channel, right? Like maybe I could put some stuff in a room and make it a little more Wall Street worthy. I don't know. It'll be kind of cool. I bought a picture. I don't know if you guys can see my little bull, my little bear right there, but I like to buy a bull, right? Maybe a couple of lights here and there, maybe a better camera, a microphone. I don't know, man. But at this point, obviously, like I said, I'm going to go live. Maybe next week, right after Uncle Bruce is on, I'll go live so that people can kind of start getting used to me at that hour, right? And I'll be trading and I'm talking about my trades. So I think that'll be something cool to do. Let's see what do we got here. Q's hitting new highs in the aftermarket. Yeah, man. So you know what? I'm gonna short the Q's. I have some. I just bought some SQQQ option calls, and I think they expire in September. And yeah, I paid like I don't know how much did I pay for them. Let me see here. Tell you right away. Um, I didn't buy that many. It was only like three of them, right? And I paid 181 for them, right? And at this point, they're 161, so I'm basically down $60. So I gave myself to September. Um, you guys know that again. You should not be doing calls, right? The reason I am doing calls is because I have a very good feeling that we're going to go down. I would not advise a novice to buy puts or to buy calls. Sell puts and sell calls. That's the name of the game. But at this point, my portfolio is big enough to where that's not even 1/10 of a percentage of like my total exposure, right? So it's just it's like it's chump change. And so not to say that that's chump change, right? It's just saying just for my portfolio's sakes, right? I'm totally okay and willing to lose that money because it's cash secure put money from other trades that I made, and I made money there, so I put that money elsewhere, and that's premium from something else. So it's just some premium money from somewhere that I was like, okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna take $500 and I'm gonna gamble it a little bit because I think that based on everything that I know and just the overall market itself, right, and my experience, um, I will be totally okay losing that money. Um, Now, I don't think that people that are new and you have $1,000 and you want to say, that's just silly. I wouldn't go with half of my portfolio and then just buy some puts. That makes no sense to me. I think you should take more of a conservative approach. But when you're seasoned, right, and you're willing to risk a little more, it's okay. Let's see here. So yeah, I'm shorting the Qs, man. That's what I want to do. Bobby, what's up, Bobby? Nice seeing you, man. And what's up, Charlie C too? What's some chat? Open start a position with the shares at the high of the morning. Reddit chatter saying the restructure for the future is done. The idea of this real estate sales could get more popular over time. So, Bobby, this is the deal, man. Um, the deal is that somebody got caught with the pants down, right? Um, the time to buy was when I was telling you guys to do $1 cash secure puts like 6 months ago, right? I was pounding the table saying, hey guys, if you guys have an extra $1,000, put it on some on 10 cash secure puts and I get 15, 20, 30 cents for it. And you would have gotten put those shares at this point and you would have paid 80 cents, 70 cents for them. At this point, you would have doubled your money. If you would have sold, or you could have done what I did, which is sell $5 covered calls for 60 cents, for January. So not to say that it's done running. I don't think it is. But it's taking a breather. I mean, it literally has gone up like 200%, 300% in the last week or two, right? So it's normal. Also, the shorts are trying to cover, right? We had, I think, 1.7 to 2 days to cover. I think they didn't take it seriously, so it went up a color. It went from 2 to 3 days, but I don't think we're done. I think open is, especially if interest rates get cut, and with this chatter about Donald Trump getting rid of Jerome Powell, the people that are being named as successors to Jerome Powell, they've been interviewed already in Squawk, CNBC, and Fox News, and they both said, "I will do anything Mr. Trump wants." I mean, you take from that whatever you will, but that sounds to me as them saying, if Trump wants to go down 300 basis points in one swoop, I'll do it. If that happens, when that happens, uh, the real estate market is going to absolutely fly again. And people are going to get very cavalier again. And I think there's going to be so much cheap money that open is probably going to go back to $5 to $10 a share. My personal opinion, based on everything. Now, you got to remember, there's another company that was getting treated the same way that does almost the same thing, except in a different market, right? Carvana. Carvana got shorted to like $3, man. It went from like $200 a share to like $3, $4 a share. And shorters got caught with their pants down. It went to 20, it went to 30, it went to 40. Now it's like $300 a share. Am I saying Open Door is going to go to $300, $400 a share? I'm absolutely not saying that. All I'm saying is that the similarities are very, very, very close to what happened to Carvana. And although one is in the real estate market, the other one's the car vehicle markets, right? They're both losing money, and I think that even if the fact that they defy logic as far as a company goes and making profits, it doesn't matter. The stock is going to fly. So that's just my 2 cents, right? Again, I protected myself during this run because I just honestly I sold at 55 and 60. I was like, this is just a lot. But you know, option expiry day is tomorrow. Let's see what happens. But it's not there's always take money off the table, right? Um, Webull started running today a bit, and I have like over 25 cash secure puts, 1250s, anywhere from September to October to January, and I got rid of half of those today. Now, does that mean that Webull is going to stop running? Probably not. I think Webull is going to 20, but we don't know. I know that the stock is at where it is right now, and I know that I just closed some positions for 50% profit. You can never go wrong taking profits, so I automatically trimmed, right, and took profits. Nothing wrong with that at all. Now I'm letting the rest run. Same thing with Open Door, right? I rolled 40 covered calls, and I took some money off the table, and um, I actually sold some open as well, for 175. And I think it was like 2,000 shares I sold. So that right there, I mean, it's just, did I know it was gonna scale back down? I didn't, but I just saw the opportunity. I tripled my money, right? And I was like, I'm taking this money off the table because at this point I'm just I gotta take money off the table because I don't know what's going to happen. I know that I can take money off the table now and I can make a profit. And at the end of the day, that's why we're in the stock market, right? Is to take a profit. Now, I could be absolutely wrong, and tomorrow's going to go to like $5 a share, but I don't know. Look at what happened to my Palantir calls, right? I sold 75s and 80s, and those are done. They're never coming back down. But I'm okay with that. That's why whenever I sell a covered call, I sell at a strike. Like I said, I'm completely comfortable selling at that price because I've already made a profit. I'm taking profit when I'm selling that covered call for the premium, and I move on to another stock, and that's it, man. I don't I don't fall in love with a stock. I don't let my emotions guide me. I used to, and it never goes well. Right now, SoFi's at 22.14, AI at 28.45, Unity, my baby, is at 36. Some $28 cash secure puts I had on Unity for I think January. I bought those back today. I think I took it over for like $15,000. So hey man, listen, it's about taking money off the table. I'm trying to sit on a lot of cash at this point because I just sense the market's frothy, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if I'm not, I'm gonna go shopping. I'll tell you that right now. SOXS is very low right now, and I just added Rivian. I think Rivian is at an inflection point. RXRX, another heavily shorted stock. RXRX is a great company. RXRX is a pharmaceutical and AI play. I don't think the street really knows yet. You wait until the street really finds out about RXRX. It's already moving up. It was down to, let's see, what was the lowest that it went this year? The 52-week low was 379. I was adding at 380, at 405, 420, 420. I always add at 420. And so I've been adding. I have $4 cash secure puts. I have $5, $6. I have some $7 cash secure puts. Expiring January. I have some 2027 $5 cash secure puts. So it's just about having conviction on the stocks that you're buying, right? I know my shit, man. I know I've done my due diligence. I know that these are good companies, and I know they're heavily shorted. There's a low float, and that the possibility for a run is huge. And so nothing wrong with that at all. What else do we have here? GME. Oh, I sold some 23. So again, I bought back some $23 cash secure puts, some Septembers and some August today, and I sold some Januaries. So I'm just taking in more money. Same strike, $23. It's just I'm taking more money because if we do end up running, great. And if we end up taking a hit, I'm protected like up to $3. So I'm totally okay buying GME at $20 a share. Absolutely. GME is a $40 stock, if not 50. There's nothing wrong with buying it at 20. Now, can it go lower than 20? Of course. And at that point, guess what? I'm going to write some $18 cash secure puts, $17 cash secure puts. No shame in my game. It's just all about having conviction and knowing what you're holding. They're sitting in $9 billion in cash. $9 billion in cash, no debt. I don't know about you, but if you end up working the numbers, that's a $30 to $40 company per share. So Archer is running away. Roblox, man, my Roblox is gone. I had some $75, $80. They're gone, man. They're never coming back. SMCI running. SMCI, I have some $50 calls and some $45 calls. I took in, I think, $12 and $15 for those, and those are now 19 and 21. I'm totally okay selling at that point. So my average is $26. What? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm in here to make money, and this is exactly what it's about. I'm not in love with any stock. I'm not married to any stock. Like, I let it go. I don't care. And then, I do hold some stragglers there, right? Because if, let's say, it runs away for whatever reasons and some type of short squeeze, I could just sell a couple of hundred calls and even make more money. That's it. No big deal. My Sentinel One, that's a dark horse, man. There was a stock that I was talking about not too long ago, and it was it ran away to like $200, $300, and so at this point, I'm looking for the new stock, right? Let's see here. Trying to look, Palo Alto Networks. Palo Alto Networks. I was into Palo Alto Networks, man, when it was in its infancy, and this baby is, it was, I think it was like, I want to say like $40 when I was looking at it. It's now $200. It's just, I don't know, man. CrowdStrike, that's the one. CrowdStrike was, I want to say, 4 years ago, I was talking about CrowdStrike, and it was like $80 a share. And I think somebody from the Bagel Club was in it at the same time as me. I want to say Birdie or Beach Boy. And now that CrowdStrike is $470, right? So to me, Sentinel One is the next CrowdStrike. Now, it's just, there's too many similarities. CrowdStrike is too expensive, and I see Sentinel One taking a lot of that market away, especially after, I think, CrowdStrike shed the bed like a year ago or so, and they got hacked. So Sentinel One it's got safeguards, and at this point, Sentinel One is $17.92 a share. I think I bought at 15. I have some $17 cash secure puts as well on it. I don't have that big of a position yet, but it's all about loading at this point. If somebody, and again, this is in the interest of full disclosure, I own this stock. I have a biased view on it, right? And so don't let me tell you what to do with your money, but it still would not hurt you to look at what Sentinel One does, right? And just a quick overview: Sentinel One engages in the provision of endpoint security software that detects, models, and predicts threat behavior to block attacks on any computing device. Its services include vigilance, support, and training. The company was founded by Tomer Weingarten and Alman Cohen in 2013, Mountain View, California. I mean, 2013, it's a company that's been around for a little over 10 years in its infancy still, but they are using AI now, and I think that once they start using AI, and although we're far away from quantum computing, um, these guys are going to fly. It doesn't hurt to start getting a little small little position, maybe buy a share or two, I would say, to just to for you to have it kind of in the radar, right? But keep in mind, I did talk about Sentinel One. Again, another one, Webull. It was $10 not too long ago, and I loaded on it. I sold $10 cash secure puts. I sold $11 cash secure puts, $12.50 cash secure puts. At this point, I'm praying that I get a sign, because after the premium, I think I'll be getting those shares for like $9. That's what it will come out to. And I think I sold some 1250s like a month ago or more ago for so 1250 cash you could put for October. They got over like $4 for them. So that's insane. That's basically getting the shares for like 850. Um, Great company. Look it up. It's basically it does the same thing Robinhood does. And so I also use Webull. So I like their operating system. Um, I see that I see Robinhood um, having an issue here and there, and we will just swooping in and taking some of that clientele away. Um, where is it going? $50 a share is not bad. $50, $60 or more. I mean, Robinhood is $100 a share, right? So right now, you're basically buying Robinhood for 1/10 the price, 1/8 the price. There's nothing wrong with that. Interest of full disclosure, I also own it. So I am obviously being biased, right? But maybe you guys can look at it with a different perspective and see if it fancies, if it strikes your fancy, right? Riot, I mean, Riot is $13.50. It was just $10. Some cash secure puts didn't hurt nobody. You could have used that money to then buy shares where it was at. Lucid, Lucid is $3.13 now. It was just under $2 a couple of weeks back, and so where is it going? I don't know. But I do know that I have thousands of shares, and I'm going to just keep doing what I do. Is I'm gonna wait for days that it rips like this, and I'm gonna sell covered calls and use that money to then buy more shares, or use that money for other things, and just keep doing what I do. I mean, no, nothing wrong with that at all. Open Technologies is 180 now. It was just 150. It's now 180 after hours, right? We were just talking about it. What is it going to do? Nobody knows. But you have I don't know, if you have $200, and you're like, hey, maybe I got an extra $200 that if for whatever reasons you lost it, it would not be that big of a deal. Why not buy 100 shares and then see what happens? Nothing wrong with that. Big Bear AI. I like the company. I think the company is going to run away. I think it's being shorted heavily too. Open is being shorted heavily. Lucid is being shorted. Webull is being shorted. GME is being shorted. RXRX heavily shorted. C3.ai heavily shorted. Look at what's happening with SoFi. SoFi was shorted, right, over 20%, 18%, something like that. And then just once people just kept buying, and not selling, what happened? SoFi's like 21, 22 bucks now. So, I mean, it's all there for you, right? It's just the question is, not to listen to the noise. Don't listen to the negativity and do your research. Doing your own due diligence, you'll find out whether it's something that you would want to, to take a shot at it. You have a couple of $1,000, that you've been setting aside for to invest. Take a plunge, and buy some cheap shares right now. SoFi is going to go to $50 a share. SoFi is going to go to $60 a share. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. But nobody knows. I'm underwater. I got hundreds of covered falls underwater, but I'm okay. I'm okay selling at $15 a share because my average is like $8. So January 2026, I want to receive a lot of money for holding SoFi and all these other companies. January 2027, I'm going to receive a lot of money. And then I can sit back and look at where the market is and then look for the next SoFi, look for the next Unity, look for the next Rivian. If these haven't taken off yet, otherwise I'll just keep adding to the Unities and the C3.AIs and the Open Doors and the RXRX. Gotta have a plan, right? And that's my plan. Let's see what we got here. Bobby Acker said the idea of this real estate sales should get more popular over time. Yeah, once the interest rates start getting cut, you're going to see that Open Doors. I think any real estate play is going to fly. It's just interest rates got to get cut, right? And that's the game we're playing. People are saying that, well, not till September now. So, but is it really? And again, we're one stupid tweet away from the market getting tanked, right? Look at the things that are going on with Russia. I guess the verbiage that that the executive branch is taking with Russia right now is a little more sharp than it has been in the past, right? What does that mean? Nobody knows. Look at what's happening worldwide, right? This is exactly why you have to look at international markets. Look at what's happening in Asia. Look at what's happening in fucking Israel right now. Look at what's happening in the Middle East. All these things are connected. And so and they affect what we do here. They affect our markets. It's just invest cautiously right now. That's my advice. But definitely look for opportunity. There's a lot of opportunity still. You haven't missed the train. I think that there's still a lot of opportunity right now. RXRX is sitting at 550. Rivian is sitting at $12.96. GME, for crying out loud, is sitting at $23. I just talked about it. Sentinel One is sitting at $17. The 52-week low is like $15. It's almost at a 52-week low right now. Lucid, it's $3 a share. Lucid is a $10 stock, easily, if not more. BBAI is sitting at $8. Let's see here. I'm starting to go into crypto a little bit now, but I'm not going to say which one. I don't want people to get into crypto. That's my own personal thing. But yeah, let's just say I bought Ethereum for like $200 a share per digital asset back in the day. I'm in NVIDIA. NVIDIA, wait for a pullback to the 140, 130s. NVIDIA is going to be a $1,000 stock. I know it sounds stupid, right? But it will. It's just a matter of when. Let's see, RCAP. our CAC is still there at $12, man. Um, there's Talkspace. It's 257 a share. It's 160. The 52-week low is 160. That's a company that engages in the operation and development of a technology platform used in connecting patients to licensed mental health professionals through messaging, video, and audio. The company was founded by Frank Roney and Frank Warren in 2012, headquartered in New York, New York. I actually met the CEO, and the guy is brilliant, very nice person. And when you come across somebody that's just a good human being, man, and that that they're just trying to do what's right, this guy, man, you should see how protected he is by his employees. Um, I've never seen people take care of their CEO the way that they take care of him, and that's not because he's the CEO. It's because he's a good, kind-hearted person, and and his employees, man, they protect him, and it's just, I don't know, man. It's just like you would a grandpa. You know what I'm saying? It's the best way I can put it to you, and that's exactly why I'm on this stock, um, because I know that it's just one or two news cycles away from going to like $200 a share. I know it sounds stupid, but once the street finds out about Talkspace, if it doesn't go to $20, I don't know. I don't know. But it's one of the companies that it's, like right now is just nobody knows about it. But it's a great company. Um, there's Molecular Partners AG, 52-week low. It's almost at the 52-week low. MOLN is the ticker. Look it up. I'm not telling you to buy them. I'm just telling you to look them up. There's opportunity there. Newsmax. I hate the fucking channel. I hate everything they stand for, but I am here to make money. Again, feelings have to go out the window on this one. You may not like Elon Musk, but Tesla is gonna make you money. Same thing with Newsmax. Newsmax, the IV is so crazy. Um, Selling some $15 cash secure puts for fucking January would make you a lot of money right now. I was in one of my buddies from work talked to me about Oklo, OKLO. It was $30 about when he told me, but there's just so much, and I hate buying stock just because someone said to buy it. When someone says that I should look into a company and buy stock, I go in and I research the shit out of it, because when I used to work for a money management firm, that was my background, is researching. And I find it just intriguing. I find a company, my intellectual curiosity gets the best of me, and I just start reading and reading. And then I go down the rabbit hole, and like, next thing you know, I've done 20, 30, 40, 50 hours of research on a company. And then eventually I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take a dip, and then I follow it. And then once I start following it, I will do a shitload of research. And then, eventually, I'll feel comfortable enough me telling people, I think you should look at this company, after like really, really going into the nitty gritty and seeing what it offers and what the upside is, right? But again, I should have done more research on that, because I shit the bed and I forgot. Honestly, I was so busy with work. Another thing about me, man, I work so much, and then when I'm at home, I like to dedicate my time to my three children, and they're still little, and so my daughter plays soccer. My younger boy does as well. I'm my middle boy, and then my youngest, he's not old enough to play sports just yet, but he wants to spend time with me, and so like any available time that I had to spend with them, I'm not at work. I take it, and then we go out to eat somewhere, and I take them to like the movies, and I just like spending time with them, man. I grew up without a father, so to me it's a really big deal to be in my kids' lives, and so it's really it's really something for me to spend time with them. So I, it's really hard to like go live and then and then really take the channel seriously. But again, Uncle Bruce is leaving, and I feel like I don't know. I think it'll be something cool that we keep the same community, going, and then just you guys, he'll still be around, right? But um, again, I can talk about my trades, and you guys can tune in and then and keep it going, man. Because I think that the legacy is something that it's kind of cool. And um, the social circle we have, I think it's so cool and so close, tight knit that I like to keep that, so that we keep teaching the newbies, man, because we were newbies once ourselves, right? So um, I guess it's a way to pass it forward, right? All right, so let's see here. What do we have? Cool Savage, Ricardo Canales, what's up, brother? Ken's mom, RXRX. Yeah, RXRX. Great company, man. It's a bridge between AI and pharmaceuticals. They have a really good product. They basically have an AI model that looks at um, information. They use the Human Genome Project. I mean, they're years and years away from anybody else, and they have contracts with Bayer and companies like that, where these companies, instead of spending millions and millions and hundreds of millions of dollars doing the research, they give their information to RxRx, and then they put it into like their model, right? They put it into their copywritten um, machine, if you will, right? And then they run thousands and thousands and thousands of tests, and then they come up with like exactly all the information that a company would require us in pharmaceuticals. Because at the end of the day, the number one thing that a pharmaceutical company needs is money, but they also don't have that much time because they have to do all these tests. So they can outsource doing these tests and run through like millions of models instead of like hundreds. Um, they save a ridiculous amount of money, and the royalties that RxRx would get from that, once they do the test, they keep royalties. If the companies decided to, launch medication, a pill, whatever, using RxRx will keep royalties, and that's where the money is gonna. Once it really starts kicking in, it's gonna be $100 stock easily, and that's why I'm into it. Put a Rugman poster, says Chuck. You know what? That's Uncle Bruce, man. I honestly think I'm gonna put a Donald Trump poster back there, just going like this. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Trumper. Don't fuck me up. But like, I think it's just that's the president, man. And it's just um, whatever he said, he changed the market. We've never had an executive with so much power as he holds over Wall Street, and anything he says goes, man. Like, he can make the stock market fly and tank. I mean, we gotta give credit where credit is due, right? And so it is what it is. Let's see here. If you're chatting between 11 to 8 to 11 Eastern, I'm going to listen, buddy. Right on, Bobby. Yeah, well, I'm in the West Coast, right? So I'm thinking maybe 6 a.m., to like 10 a.m. or something like that. I don't know yet, man. I honestly don't. I don't want to miss that first hour of trading, but who knows, man? Sometimes the stock market's boring, right? And we don't really have anything much going on. So I may just go live and talk to knuckleheads, and see, what's going on and what you guys are working on. And we can talk about our trades. And I could even show you my trades. I have no problem doing that. Let's see here. Oscar Davila says, what's up, Savage? Savage, what's up, Savage? Oscar Davila, what's going on, brother? Hi. Midterm battle plan, I'm guessing. Yep, I agree, Bobby. Charlie sold some $6 BBAI puts last week out to January. Guy was saying premium each. Charlie, that is a good right, man. That is a good right. I actually got over $2 for those a little bit ago, but you know what? 175 is not bad. I mean, it's not bad. That's almost let's see, 1/3 of your premium of the of your collateral. So I have nothing wrong with that trade whatsoever. Worst case scenario, you buy BBAI at 425. What the fuck is wrong with that? I have no problem with that trade at all, brother. I would do it in an instant. If I wouldn't have done the $2, I would do that one. Absolutely. I think that's a great right there, brother. Austin, sorry if you covered this earlier. Tuned in late. How are you finding these stocks to make good plays on? Good old research, buddy. Austin, it's good old research, man. I mean, just again, I have a background, in finance. I used to work for a company, a money management firm in San Francisco, and so I research was a big part of what I did, right? And so whenever I come across a company that looks interesting, first of all, it's got to look interesting, right? And it's got to be. The number one rule is it a company that I will use myself. And an example would be Robinhood. I mean, I'm always using Robinhood. I put money on it all the time. Makes no sense that I would not invest in it, right? Webull, same thing. The NVIDIA. I mean, my computer has the NVIDIA chips. Salesforce. I use Salesforce, right? Open Door. I mean, every time I was doing research for real estate stuff, Open Door would always be everywhere. I was like, you know what? Let me look into that. But you also have to know the market, right? So SoFi again. I mean, I love what they're doing. They're doing away with legacy banking. They're a threat, and you can tell that. When was the last time that you went into a bank, right? Like a physical bank? It's been years, and so that's where it's going. And I like their one-stop shop approach that they have. I've actually talked to Anthony Noto, and let me just get this out of the way. I know that I don't want to sound like a pompous prick because I'm fucking not. I could be an asshole. That's different. But I have talked to these CEOs just because I am in San Francisco and I am also in the tech industry. Okay. So whenever there is meetings, this is such a small community. People they're investors in San Francisco and in tech, that even gets smaller, right? Whenever there's like some symposium or there's like an event like at the Four Seasons or the Palace Hotel, the Marriott, the Hilton, they're there. Everything is you just got to go online and look at meetings, right, for different companies. You look at NVIDIA, Salesforce, you can look at AMD. It's there. So I'm just, curious enough to be like, oh, let's see what's going on there. And like, I'll go to like the Palace Hotel, like on a Wednesday at 2 p.m. afternoon, and there's Anthony Noto giving, a symposium on SoFi and talking about, the company. So same thing with, fucking NVIDIA, same thing with, Wells Fargo Bank or every January there's a meeting, a summit that JP Morgan holds for pharmaceutical companies in San Francisco, and there's like seriously like 1,000 companies that present here at the St. Francis Hotel, and you could talk to the CEOs. They're the ones that give those they're the ones that give the chat, They talk about their company, their presentations. They give you like the prospectus, and I mean, what CEO doesn't want to talk about their company, right? And so that's how I'm able to then once in a while ask a question. They have a Q&A after every symposium, after every presentation, and sometimes you're the person that raises their hand, and they say, what your question, what would you like to ask, and you ask your question. Anthony Noto, fucking respectable person, no nonsense. He'll give it to you straight, and he'll tell you exactly where things are going, what he's working on, and then he tells you, this is what SoFi does, and this is why we're going to do away with legacy banks, and they're scared for a reason, right? And I mean, it's just one of those things that intellectual curiosity, man. It pays. It really, literally does. And then once you get to see a CEO that you know that you're like, what, this guy, you can see why they're a CEO, first of all. But let me tell you that right now, some are better than others, right? And that's exactly where the difference lies. And that's one of the metrics that I use. I also look at the board. Who is their COO, who's their CFO. Where do they go, where do they come from? Do they have a good past? Are they ringers? Did they come from like a bankruptcy? Shit like that. It's crucial. You're gonna put your hard earned money into a company, right? I mean, the least you can do is find out who the people that are running are, right? And so that's exactly why I say, I like to take at least 100 hours of research, and that is research. Going to a symposium, taking 2-3 hours, 4 hours out of your day to sit through and listen to a couple of CEO, that's research. And so and I think if you wanted to, you can do it yourself. And then you look at the company, and you make an assessment, and you say, what, I'll take $2,000, $3,000, and put it into this company and see what's up. It's that simple, man. Let's see here. Came from Bruce. Doug, what's up, Doug? James of the Misty Tree, good day. Oyster Savage has greeting. Lucky. Charlie is here. Okay, right on. What's up, James? Yeah, guys. Thank you for tuning in, man. I just it was very impromptu. Honestly, I just wanted to see what this camera did. I was gonna be for like 5 minutes. I didn't expect people to like show up here, but then I was like, there's a couple of people here. Let me put this up in the Discord, see what they're talking about, and then look, it's like 11 of you here, which is pretty awesome. What are we looking at? Let's see. Archer's going ham right now. Riot's going ham. Let's see here. I talked about Talkspace. Newsmax, man. Yeah, Newsmax. I have some $20 cash secure puts that I sold for I think October. I got like $6.50 or $7 for those. So I'm good until $14. It's $14.50 right now. So if I was put those shares, I would automatically sell a call to January. And I will sell, if I got those put at $14.50, means I can sell 20s. I will sell 20s for $2. I go right now and sell $20 covered calls for $2, and or $2.25 to see if it hits. And right off the bat, I'm starting to take my money back. And the way that things are going, Newsmax, the president has a following, right? And I assure you that Newsmax is going to go to 50. It's going to go to $50 a share, and it's a question of when, right? I think by the midterms next year, there's going to be a lot of chatter. They're going to start taking Newsmax a lot more seriously. It's heavily shorted right now, too, by the way, because that's the way it goes. Some companies are overvalued, or they just IPO'd, and they go to $60, $70 at IPO, and then they get hammered down, right? and then they got to prove themselves. And that's exactly what Newsmax is doing at this point. And I'm okay buying at 10, 11, $12 a share. Absolutely. I bought at 13. I got $20 cash secure puts, like I said, right? And yeah, man, I'm in it. I'm in it, man. And I think it's about money at this point. So don't be scared to take a dip. Quantum computing, man. QUBT. Don't be scared. Look it up. It was 53 cents a share. I started, okay, it wasn't 53 when I started following. It was like $4. But although we are very far from quantum computing being a thing right now, it's the next AI. And I think we're going to arrive to it a lot faster than people give it credit. So people are saying 10 years, some say 9, 8. I'm giving it 4. You remember, I'm in San Francisco. I hear a lot of shit. And so keep an eye on it. AAOI, another one you guys should keep an eye on. Riggedy Computing. I was looking at Riggedy, I think it was like $7 a share or something like that, or $6 a share. And it's $16.97. RGTI. I mean, these are something that you guys could put on your watch list, right? Don't buy them, but a cash secure put didn't hurt nobody, right? This is why you go and you take dollars. You don't take cents, you take dollars. Sound, SOUS, SoundHound. I'm in it. I got some $10 cash secure puts and some 12s expiring in January, right? So give me that sound, baby. CleanSpark, CLSK, great company. I like it. AAOI, I already talked about. ASTS, it's flying. NEO, I like it. I actually have like 100 calls. $115 calls expiring 2027. That's what I got, my friends. And I'm not scared, man. Again, I'm stupid. I can take a more cavalier approach because I can afford to. I don't advise somebody that has $5,000 to take $1,000 and put 20% of their fucking portfolio into like calls for fucking NEO. That's just silly, because it could do absolutely nothing. It could go bankrupt. It's a little riskier. However, I am okay with that risk. My risk tolerance is a little high. And it's just like a smidge of my portfolio. So 100 calls. I'm already in the green, and I think it's probably going to go to NEO's going to go to like $10 a share, probably by next year. I'm probably going to sell these calls a lot sooner than that, but again, I'm in it just for the money, right? I wouldn't say it's a long-term hold at this point, but don't be surprised. Anyhow, if you guys want to do me a favor, I'd appreciate if you guys could give me a thumbs up. You know what would be so cool, so that I can start getting some traction? Even if you guys don't watch me, if you could put like my videos and hit play, and then just play all and go home or like go away and just have it played in the background, that'd be cool, because it would help me with YouTube, right? And get a little more exposure. And again, I'm trying to get to 10,000 members, 10,000, subs. And I think it'll be cool because for what I'm trying to do, I think it'll help. Anyhow, for tomorrow, what do we expect? It's one of those things where it doesn't matter, right? If you are doing cash secure puts, if you're doing covered calls, if you're doing strangles, right, iron condors, I think that it doesn't matter. You welcome whether it's a red day tomorrow or a green day tomorrow. I personally bought back a lot of my cash secure puts today. I'm sitting on some cash because personally, I think we're going to go down. It's not necessarily tomorrow, right? And I would be okay waiting a couple of months, but I think we're going to go down sooner than that. And so I'm just trying to sit on some cash and I am trying to be cautiously optimistic. If we keep going up, I'm just going to start selling covered calls on everything. And if I get taken out, then I get taken out. Not a problem. But if there's a pullback, well then I will welcome it too. And so tomorrow, it doesn't matter, right? I think that the weekend would be a better. I think tomorrow's option expiration day, right? So it's not the third. Is it the third Friday of the month? Let me see. Yeah, so tomorrow is the third Friday of the month. There's going to be a lot of, you know what? I think tomorrow there's going to be a lot of volatility. I think that it's going to be one of those where if we fly tomorrow morning early, cover calls will be awesome, because I think by the end of the day we're going to go down. If we go down tomorrow early, they expect us to go up and up and down, up and down, up. And that's just the way that it works on a Friday. So those of you guys that do iron condors, I think you could play both sides of the ball on this one. You could do on GME, do $22 cash secure puts, $25 calls. Just stay within that $3 range, right? At that channel. It's just an example, right? Find a channel on a stock that you like, like $3-4, and then and then make your best educated guess on how you think things are going to trade based on the volume you see tomorrow. If you see a lot of volume, and the stock's going down, that tells you it's downtrending, right? And if you see a little volume and the stock is going up, well, that's a divergence. So be cautious. It's one of those things where you're going to have to, know what you hold, right? And this is why I'm one of those people that just preaches not overextending yourself and having 100 different companies in a portfolio, because you just get flustered. Have 10, have 15, and trade them all the time so that you can start seeing how they move. Because after a while, I can tell you honestly how C3.ai is going to trade tomorrow. I can tell you how SoFi is going to trade tomorrow, right? Just based on my past experience and trading them for years. Let's see. C3.ai, just for fucking shits and giggles, is at 28.55. Look for C3.ai to trade anywhere between $27 and $29 tomorrow, right? It's at 28.55 right now. It went up 5% today, pretty much. Tomorrow, don't be afraid to sell 30s. I wouldn't mind going and selling 30s for October, and bringing in $3. Ask for $3. Why not? Ask for $3. Bring in 10% right away, right? A buy right, not out of the question. Buy where it's at right now, 28.55. You buy at 28.55. You sell at 30. So you're basically making $145 for the shares, and you're going to make $3 on the premium. That's basically $4.45. That's over 10%. That's like 13-14% back on your exposure there. What's wrong with that? What's nothing wrong with that? Same thing with SoFi, right? SoFi is going to trade anywhere between $21 and $23 tomorrow. Now, could it go higher than that? Absolutely. Could it go lower? Absolutely. But this is just based on what it has done in the past, right? If I wanted to write something on SoFi, I would be looking at October. Sell October calls. Remember, we have earnings coming up, though. So you have to be okay having your shares called away. Now, the IV is high because of that, too. So that's adding to your premiums. you could very well sell a $25 call. You can do a buy right at $22, 22.13, and then sell a $27 call or $25 call. Ask for $2, $1.75, $175, right? Do we go red tomorrow? Okay, well then sell a put. Say SoFi goes to $21. Well, they'll sell 20s. Sell a $20 for $2. Get 10% right away. That's just the way that you trade. These companies. You're always looking for how best to take percentages, right? Take dollars, man. I don't like trading weeklies. It's just you get $20, 20 cents, 30 cents for. I don't like that. I like taking dollars because it makes it worth my while, right? Now you can make a case and say, well, if you get 5% today and then 5% next week and 5% the next week, okay, sure. Yeah, okay, you're gonna make 20% in a month and a half, right? But we don't know that. We don't know if that's the way it's going to trade, right? We're just going by guesses. I know for a fact the stock is here right now. I know for a fact I can get $2 for a $20 cash secure put on SoFi for October tomorrow. That's a fact, right? I don't have to guess what's going to happen next week because tomorrow I know where I'm going to be at. I know that my $25 covered call for a C3.ai is going to bring me in. Or my $30 cash secure or covered call for a C3.ai is going to bring me $3. I know that because it's there right now. We don't know where it's going to be 2 weeks, 3 weeks from now. What if we tank? What if C3.ai goes to $24, $23, right? You just sold a 20, say, for example, you sell a $27.50 for next week. Well, for 30 cents, 40 cents, it makes no sense to me. You could have made $3, $300, but you wanted to make 40. Like, yeah, you could take the risk and make 40 the next 3-4 weeks, right? Okay, but we don't know if that's going to happen. That's why I like taking dollars because I can put $400, $500 to work. I can't put $20, $30 to work. I mean, I guess I can. I can buy some shares, but why? When I could just get more money. All right, what do we got here? Let's see. James says, I'm stuck welcoming my 500 sound shares of the chain. We cover costs after getting those put to me in January of 1999. Current cost base 1824. Yeah, you got in kind of high there, buddy. You got in kind of high. John Malone is a good person. Yeah, so yeah, James, I think John Malone is somebody that you definitely would listen to him. He's an expert at walking the dog, right? And I think that if there is somebody that can show you how to kind of kick the can down the road, is him. I've actually taken his approach with Open because I just kept kicking it week after week after week because that's the way that it worked. And I was at any point I could have gotten those shares put to me, and then I decided to go out a month, and I brought more money, and then another month. But again, my cost basis will be 19 cents now because of that method. So you got high. See, that's the thing. I don't go into stocks high. That's why I like bloody days. And even when on a really bloody day, I go 15% less than where it is, if that makes any sense. For example, let's say a stock was $15 and it just got hit to like $11.50, right? Well, then I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to sell $11.50 cash secure puts. I'm going to do $10 cash secure puts. So I'm going down even more. And then I'm getting paid. I like to get paid at least 10% for my troubles. So that's like if I'm doing a $10 cash secure put, I'm looking for $100. Pay me $100 to buy those shares at 10, right? And that's a monthly. So if I can make 10% a month on that cash secure put, to me that's a win. And that's exactly I wouldn't go, for example, Enphase. Enphase, was like $60, $70, and people were like, "Oh my God, it's so low." I was like, "I'm gonna wait for it to go to 45, 40, 45." And what did I do? It went to 45, and I sold 40s, and then I got paid $6, $7 per cash account put. And at this point, I'm begging to get put those cash account puts because I'm really buying at 35, $34. Um, so I'm totally okay with Enphase at $33, $34 a share. Could it go lower than that? Of course. But I would not be saying shit. It was $20 and I did $20 cash account puts. That sucks. Like I actually wouldn't do that. But again, it's not that it hasn't happened. It's specifically because that's happened to me. That I took my licks, got my ass whooped. The market spit me back out, and I'm fucking here. On my YouTube channel, teaching you guys to learn from my mistakes. A wise man will learn from his mistakes. A ridiculous savant will learn from other people's mistakes. And that's just the best way I can put it. So let's see here. Yep, I had 30s, but it tanked on an NVIDIA CEO announcement. James Levinsky, I got $10 for the $30 seemed like a sure thing. I mean, you know what? I got $10 for $30 cash account puts for GME. I mean, look, you're going to fail. Let me just fucking say that right off the bat. You're going to fucking fail. Do you understand me? At no point should you be under a false pretense that you're always going to fucking win at the stock market. You're going to fail. People that are way smarter than you, way smarter than me, with way more money, right, have failed bigly. And yet they fucking come back, and that's a true measure of somebody that's seasoned in the stock market is you'll get your ass whooped, but you come back and you look for the next trade because you have to learn from your mistakes, though. You have to learn from your mistakes. And that's the number one thing is like, if you fucking keep doing the same shit and you keep getting fucking taken down, and that's the definition of fucking madness, is that you keep doing the same shit and expect a different outcome. It's not the way it works, right? So learn from your mistakes and move on. There's always another fucking average down. That's my fucking thing. It's like SoFi kicked my ass. I was buying at 18, at 19, at 17. I thought it's not going down anymore. It went to fucking 13. I bought at 11. Fucking went to 4. But it teaches you to average down. I averaged down. I got tens of thousands of the fucking shares at $8. That's a fucking high I bought. But still, you learn. Get sound now. It's at $12, right? So fucking sell some $10 cash account puts for January. And then when you are put those 30s that are gonna be really 20, you're gonna fucking average them down with like a fucking 10 that's really like $8. And then that fucking cost basis is gonna go down. That's how it works. So just learn from your mistakes. And then for every 30 that you did, do 2 or 3 fucking 10s. And then you'll fucking see that it's not as painful. And then when fucking sound fucking runs to 20, 25, $30 a share, you're gonna fucking laugh. But don't pull the plug until you have to pull the plug. Or else you're just gonna be fucking, people get desperate and then they fucking, they were down for so long and finally you see some green. Or even worse, they see some fucking even numbers and they're like, I'm gonna get out of this trade right now because fucking it's done. And then, and then the trade and then the company keeps going up. And it's just fucking sad to see. Not to say that you should not pull the plug if you know you have to pull the plug. That's where experience comes in. Don't be afraid to walk away from a trade. If you just know, you're like, fuck it, I'm losing time with this company. It's not what I thought it was going to be. Too much emotion, too much fucking money on this. I can use that money elsewhere because opportunity is better over here. Then you're making a fucking, what's it called? A lateral move. Make a lateral move. No big deal. It's a seasoned investor knows when to walk away from a trade as well. So that's what you do. Let's see here. Austin says, great advice overall. I got put in my place today. Completely screwed by SPY call credit spreads. So you're a new guy doing call credit spreads. What the fuck, man? I'm sorry, dude. You need to go to basics. Do some cover calls. Really learn them up and down. Then work your way to cash secure puts. Really learn them up and down. Do a lot of research. Fucking study the fuck out of that. Uncle Bruce's classes. I know I really do like Uncle Bruce, but this whole fucking hoopla with the call credit spreads and 0 day till expiry, that shit is fucking whack, man. That's the So that's my mentor, but you're a fucking seasoned investor, and you found your own fucking your way when you can disagree with your mentor and be okay with that. And I'm okay with that. I can disagree with Uncle Bruce. Not to say that those strategies don't work. Absolutely, but I don't think you're there. If you got your ass kicked by a fucking 528 to 531 spread, which first of all is too fucking close to begin with, yeah, I got nothing for you, man. I think you need to just learn some more. And it's not a knock on you. You're just doing what you don't know what you don't know, right? So my advice would be really, really study some cover calls. Really, really study cash secure puts, then work your way to fucking iron condors, right? And see, if that's your thing. It's not my thing. It's too much fucking watching. I don't like to babysit. I already have 3 kids, right? And I think that I would be glued to the fucking screen if I had to do call credit spreads, especially with 0 days to expiry. The whole point of me investing is to fucking take it easy, right? The whole reason why I do big chunks and I go out a month, 2 or 3 months ahead is because I don't want to fucking be watching the screen 24/7. I already come in almost every day. And this is the thing. I'm so okay with like my positions that sometimes I don't even trade. I honestly, even if I know the market for a fact, well, nobody really knows for a fact, but if I a really, really good gut feeling and like everything is screaming it's gonna go red and it goes red, I still won't. I'll go to sleep and I'll sleep in, and I'll hang out with my kids and I won't trade for the day. Sometimes I go, with my kids to fucking, we go to like Santa Cruz in California, or we go to the fucking Tahoe, Reno, Nevada, Las Vegas. We'll go to fucking Beverly Hills or fucking Venice Beach or Monarch Bay, San Diego, and like I won't even trade because to me that's I trade so that I can have quality of life. And to me, quality of life is being able to say I'm not even going to look at the fucking screen today. Not to say that when I'm fucking in the bathroom or something, right? I don't look at the trades and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Let me go in but like I'm not glued to the screen, right? And that's the beauty about fucking apps and trading on your phone is the fact that you can take, your trading with you anywhere. I traded in fucking Hawaii at fucking 5 a.m. in Hawaii while drinking a coffee at Starbucks. I traded at 11 a.m. in the Waikiki Beach while drinking a fucking Mai Tai. I traded, drinking a fucking Manhattan at the Waldorf Astoria in Beverly Hills. I traded while eating a fucking tomahawk steak, down at the Waldorf Astoria on Monarch Bay. I traded in New York City. I traded in El Salvador. I traded in Madrid. I traded in Barcelona. All I need is a good fucking internet connection, but that's why I love the fucking stock market, man, because it does its thing, and I can either trade as much as I want or not. And that's why I don't do 0 day till expiries. That's why I don't do call credit spreads, and I suggest if you're somebody that's been trading less than like a couple of years, you take a step back, not get your ass kicked like that, right? And do some cover calls, man. Go into like some companies you really feel comfortable, trading long term, and take the plunge. No company that I trade is a company that I'm not willing to hold at least 5 years, and that's just like the discipline, my discipline. right? I suggest people would take that approach because that way you can see yourself holding Microsoft, holding Google, Nvidia, Amazon. These companies aren't going anywhere. Tesla, they're not going anywhere. Instead of doing, 0 day to expiries, fucking do a $20 cash secure put on SoFi, or outright buy it at market price and then do a cash secure put. In case it comes back down, you're protected and you can average down, right? And if it flies, sell some 25s or 30s for fucking January and bring in some cash, generate some cash flow, and then you could do with that money whatever you want, man. I suggest, and this is something that I do, is if you have $10,000, right? I suggest that you wait for a very red day and do some cash secure, put some Nvidia, SoFi. I guess Nvidia wouldn't work because it's too expensive, but Enphase would be good. Sound, RXRX, SoFi, Unity, C3.ai. Sell some cash secure puts for fucking 2027, right? Take $3,000. Those $10,000 you just put, maybe 2027 is too much. 2026, take 20%, right? $2,000. Out of those $2,000, right? You have a significant other. Take $500 of that and fucking go to town, man. Go to a nice restaurant. Take your wife, take your husband, fucking tell them to order the most expensive thing on the menu. No problem. Fucking order a $200 bottle of wine, $100 bottle of wine, and make it real. And you know what? You can talk about how right now that dinner you're having is financed by some dumbasses that are willing to give you money to sell you shares of a company you're going to buy, that you want to really buy at a lower price point than where it is at right now. I promise you, you're going to laugh. And you're also going to be like, fuck, when you get the check, you're going to be like, fuck, $400, $500. It doesn't really hurt that bad when you pay it. And you actually feel good. And you're like, I just spent $400 or $500 with a person that I love, and I was okay spending that because I made it, and it was given to me. It's like fucking free money. I know it's quite the fucking life hack, but like that's how you keep your sanity when you get your ass kicked by the market. Days like this when the 0 days to expiry or the call credit spreads kick your ass. It just makes it so much better because that you're like, you know what? I put that money to fucking for this, and it's fine. And that's what I do, man. It keeps me sane. James of the British South was around 25, if I recall, a year or so, right? And I'm glad I was able to take the whooping and keep plugging away. That's it. You just keep plugging away, man. Will in Idaho, Savage, you taking over Uncle Bruce? You should start talking about bull. I will start talking about bull, man. I think I was talking about it for a little bit, but yeah, it's just I really like the company. It's just like Robinhood, man. It's just Robinhood is $100 a share. Bull is going to be there. It's just going to take time. I think it's severely shorted at this point. It got hit. It's just a matter of time. I'm going to probably put $20,000 to $30,000 into it via cash secure puts, and pray that I get assigned those shares because I'm very looking forward to holding it for the next 5 years. I think it's a good company. I think that I like their approach, regardless of what it's being said in the ether out there. It's a good play. It's right now. It's at a price point where if I was to lose those $12,000, right, $20,000, I won't because I'm gonna make it so that it doesn't. It's not $12,000, $20,000, right? But if it was, it wouldn't be the worst call I've made, right? But I just don't think so, man. I honestly think that $12, anywhere between $9 to $12, it's a screaming buy to me. And it's like it's not like they're not making money. It's all about the memberships at this point, and they keep growing. The numbers keep getting better year over year, and it just keeps growing. It's international, man. The market in India is about to open up completely, right? And guess what? That's over $1 billion investors. The amount of calls that they buy in India is insane, and Webull is going to be one of those companies that it's growing. And once they tap into that market, I think it's going to be fucking off to the races, right? Latin America, the same thing. People don't really invest as much in Latin America because they don't have as much disposable income. But I think the way Webull is approaching it, I think don't be surprised, man. If it runs to $30, $40, $50, I would not be surprised at all. And so I think right now taking in anywhere between $11, $10, $12 a share right now is just a fucking no-brainer. I'm doing cash and cure puts and taking that money to buy it outright at market price. And then if I don't get assigned those puts, I'll do it again, and I'm using that premium to buy the fucking shares right there at market price, and then just keep adding. And I'll keep adding until I get put those shares. Once I put those shares, I'll wait for a 5% day run or 10% day, and I want to sell some covered calls. If it's at 20, I'm going to sell 25s. If it's at 25, I'm going to sell 30s, and that's just how I play the game. And then just keep it moving. So I like Sound. I mean, I like Bull, and I think it's a company that's it's going to be around for a while. CKT saying good call on those Sound cash cure puts 19 of 11. Rolled something up 35% or 34% already. There you go. CKT knows the deal. Yeah, man. So dude, a Sound at 9 or 10, cash cure puts going to like 9.19 October, November, December, January, totally cool. Because I see it trading in a channel between 9 and 13, right? And we'll have some catalysts maybe. Let's see what earnings is looking like, right? But I don't see a catalyst unless they do something drastic. But again, it's the AI market, right? So we've never really been here before. So I welcome any news. I'm gonna for the time being, I'm gonna be taking advantage of the IV, and then see what the market gives me. Simple as that, man. Willie Lighthouse says F-bombs raining. I want to say they're raining, but I mean, I get passionate about this, right? And this is obviously not for children. And if there's any children around, earmuffs time, right? I'll try to keep it as PG-13 as possible. But sometimes I went to school in New York, man. I lived in New York for 6 years, and so, even sometimes with my own kids, I'll drop an F-bomb here and there, and then they're like, "Daddy, you said a bad word." I'm like, "Yeah, Daddy said a bad word, man. God damn it." They'll be like, "Daddy, don't say bad words." My kids, I don't deserve them. They're such kind kids, man, and so just wonderful kids. But anyways, that's where we're at. Gotta start keeping an eye on Bull. Haven't watched it much. Well, CKT, I suggest you do, man. I suggest you start getting acquainted with it. Maybe buy a share or two, just so you have it on the radar, right? And then you see how it moves, And then after a couple of months, you're gonna start kind of getting a feel for it. After a year, you're definitely gonna have you're gonna be in tune with it. I'm still getting to know it because it just IPO'd, right? So, but it went up so fast, and I knew it was gonna get shorted. And once it went to like $10, that was my cue, man. And so I just added, and it wasn't like an incredibly huge position, but cash and cure puts were, and so anytime you take $20,000, right, and you do cash secure puts in a company, you're kind of bullish on that. There's nothing more bullish than a cash secure put in a company. And so even though it's called a put, and some people are like, you're bearish on the stock. Like, no, motherfucker, I'm actually bullish. There's nothing more bullish than a cash secure put, because I'm telling you, this stock is worth this. And I am okay paying you for it right here and there. Now, whether you want to sell it to me or not at that price on that day, it's up to you. But I think that's what it's worth. And I love getting paid to buy companies that I'm willing to hold for 5 years. That's the name of the game, folks. Do you have to use so many curse words? I don't have to. Sometimes, it just comes out, right? So I'm not a Christian. I don't try to be. I'm in a closed room, like my own room, right? And my kids are way away. So I figured there's adults watching me, and it's just how I roll. Don't be shocked if I drop an F-bomb, but for the most part, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. If an F-bomb is going to keep you from making thousands of dollars, sir, I don't know what to tell you. It's all good. Those are quotes from the Big Lebowski. Oh, shit, you're right. I was like, oh, shit, we got the Clear Channel in the house. Anyways, hey, folks, that's all I got for today, man. Like I said, if you guys could give me a thumbs up, share it, give me a like, fucking, share this with people that you may think would like to know more about the stock market. And watch my videos and put them on the background, let them roll, right? Play all the videos you can, and whenever possible. That'd just be awesome, because it gives you more traction, right? At this point, I said, maybe not tomorrow, because we have to go to the doctor tomorrow with my kid. A couple of them, they have doctor appointments. But Monday, after Uncle Bruce, I'm probably going to go when the market opens and say, make the announcement that if somebody would still like to keep talking about the market and keep an eye on it after Uncle Bruce, signs off, I'm going to go live. And so then we can have a look-see at the market, right? And go like real time. And I can make some trades, and you guys can actually see my trades go through, kind of like how people do in the Discord. I'm able to say people, I say, boom, just made a trade for, cash you put on Unity, on Roblox, or whatever. And then you guys will get to see it real time, because I'll be saying it, and you guys can actually see it and be like, this guy's not full of shit. This guy really is trading. They just did it, right? It's right there. And then you guys will then, kind of see, hey, let me see how this trade goes. And then you guys will be able to see whether I make money or not, whether I'm full of it or not, right? So that's the way it is. And like I said, you're going to fail. But if you can succeed more times than you fail and you make more money, come here, buddy. Here's one of my kids right now. Look at him. He just came in the door. He wants to see what's going on. He's just a little savage. It's not mommy, man. It's daddy's friends. So say hi, friends. How you got shy all of a sudden? What's your name? Yeah, you good boy. We don't know, right? Okay, go. I'll be right down. What? Don't worry about it. All right, go in the jumper house. But I just want to play. Okay. I'm going to play with you right now.
In the bounce house?
In the bounce house.
Inside?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I'm going to push you in the bounce house.
You can push me in the bounce house.
Take you to the bounce house.
That's cool. All right, go out. Let me say goodbye to my friends, okay? There it is, man. That's a little savage right there. That's why I do all this, man. They keep me grounded, and this is the lives, baby. This is the Savage household. This is the lives. This is why we do it. Anyhow, thank you for watching. I'm the Savage of Wall Street. Knuckleheads. I will be seeing you guys hopefully Monday. as soon as Uncle Bruce signs off, and we can play the stock market together. You can actually talk about your trades live, right? And then we'll see how things go down on Monday, man. I think next week is going to be a very interesting week because it'll be the week after the third Friday of the month. So a lot of IVs are going to fall down, right? But we don't know if specific companies are going to go up or down based on of the earnings. I don't think earnings are going to be doing that well. I don't think earnings are going to be great at all. And I think a couple of banks already, they showed that they actually went down 40%, 50% this last quarter. And so we'll see what happens. All right, guys. It was great seeing you guys, man. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, I'm the Savage Wall Street, baby. Peace out and about and around.